Yes, guys, welcome back to Transfer Weekly.
Eagle life, eagle life, eagle life. Eagle life, eagle life, eagle life. Southside, eagle life, eagle life, eagle life. Drop a like, eagle life. Subscribe.
Questions to ask throughout a campaign with the confidence rising. I told WDF don't switch, good times are coming on even deep diving. Fan cams, reactions, watch along, still the pride of London thriving. The Eagles of South, they flying. Keep your eyes on us, we ain't hiding.
This is the series where I will tell you all the transfer rumours and links around the greatest football club ever, Crystal Palace. And I'm really excited to bring this back to you. We're going to have 2 episodes a week, hopefully, one on Monday, another one on Friday. This one's coming out a bit late. I know it's the first one, but it's coming out a bit late because, unless you can't tell, I'm very ill right now. So if the energy's a bit low, but I'm still going to get this out for you guys, doing as best I can. But today, we're going to talk you through what I think is needed, what Parish and Vieira have said about this transfer window specifically, and then I'll analyse only about 3 players today, because we're going to get a big overall grasp of how the club sees this transfer window going. And yeah, let's get straight into it. Up the Palace. Yeah, and let's jump straight into it with what I think we need. I think we need a defensive midfielder, a left back, which is most likely going to be a backup / reserve left back that can challenge for the starting position, and 100% a starting right back. Those are the definite 3 main positions that I think we need. The DM, it just shows after the Bournemouth game, doesn't it? With this new formation, which I really hope that Vieira keeps playing, the 4-2-3-1, that spot that Schlupp was using, he played well. When he plays disciplined, he plays that position completely fine. However, Vieira said not long ago today, I think, that a few signings could really change the level of this Crystal Palace team. And I really believe that if we get a Czech Decore level of defensive midfielder to sit next to Czech Decore, I don't know. It just sounds amazing. It sounds brilliant. The stars could be the limit with that kind of midfield. Very exciting if we could do something like that. And I have got a few players in the lineup of who I would love us to buy. Unfortunately, we're not really linked with him right now, but I think it'll be the perfect opportunity for us to go for. With having someone like Decore in that midfield next to him, it just changed the whole dynamic of the midfield. That double pivot would just work so much better. And I know Schlupp's alright, he's got the tackling, he's got the pace, the power, he just doesn't have the passing or the know-how like Decore has. And I just think that the levels would be increased so much just of getting someone that's actually really comfortable in that position and plays it naturally. It just will do so much wonders for this team. I think the backup left back is pretty self-explanatory. Mitchell is the only left back that we've got at the club right now, and I think it's needed. I think it's been the case ever since Van Arnold left, and even when Van Arnold was here, Mitchell was still really to the back end of Van Arnold being here. Mitchell was really the only starting left back, so I think we've had only one left back for like 3 years now, and that's really unheard of in the Premier League. You need to have at least 3 players for each position minimum. I think that Mitchell's not had a time to rest. Like in the cup games, he's had to play every minute of every game, no rest, and he'll get injured, he'll start falling off. And sort of the other negative to it as well is that he knows no matter how bad he plays, he'll never get dropped because he is the only senior left back in the team. We do have other players like Schlupp. We bought him as a left back, but guess what? He don't want to play left back no more. Klein can play left back, Wardy can play left back, and Chris Richards can play left back. Both Klein and Wardy are aging out. That they're sort of more right backs though. Richards is very injured, but he can play along the whole of the back line, and so is Nathan Ferguson, very injured again, unfortunately. So I think a backup left back would push Mitchell and would make his game better, and also the person who's coming in would play better as well because he's trying to fight against Mitchell to get in that first team position. Finally, the right back, Nathan Ferguson. Unfortunately, we know what happened to him, and we've never really replaced a right back. I'd say even for when Wan-Bissaka was here, we never actually replaced a right back, unfortunately. It needs to be sorted. Kleiny and Wardy are aging out, and we need to find someone a little bit younger, a little bit more tenacity in their game, and I think that will just bring so much more quality and quantity to our team right now. Those are the three main positions, but obviously we need squad depth everywhere, don't we? We need more centre backs. We need a few more midfielders to cover because he's not getting picked by Vieira for a reason. So there's probably not much quality in the quantity of players that we have on the bench. I think we probably need another striker because we've only got Mateta and Edouard right now, and probably someone else on the wings because Ayew and it's not looking too good. Ebue is looking like he's going out on loan. Raksaki's already on loan. So we're going to have to get numbers in. A small little quotes from Parish and Vieira on their thoughts on the actual January window because they were asked about it in an interview. Parish says here, sorry, it's a very long quote. If I misread it, it's your boy. He can't read properly. But here it goes. The January window is hard. There are one or two things we'd like to do, probably more loans than buys. We really look to the summer to do anything major. We have a good squad. I think the players are very good, and I think we have a good points tally. In January, it's quite nice to freshen things up if we can. Look at some places we feel we can improve with the manager, so we're looking at the situation there. I would not write off anybody, but post the World Cup is a very dangerous market. That does not say no. Doesn't really make sense. We have a few areas we'd like to improve on, and if we can, we'll do it. It's a very long quote. Sorry about that, but it's a little insight into what Parish sees this window going. He's saying that more loans than buys. Pretty good idea. If you ain't got the money in this World Cup market where everyone's going to be highly inflated, even though the January sales are already an inflated market in the first place, it's a very smart move. We've still got 2 Premier League loans because we didn't use them in the summer. We can still get European loans if we want, and that doesn't rule out the ability of loan to buys because those are still technically loans at this moment in time. Anything major, the purchase of them is the major part, and we can do that in the summer. So it's good to see how we're thinking. Obviously, the money's not there. Can't blame him for that. Obviously, things going on behind the scenes is what's happening. Maybe all the new stadium stuff is taking up all the money, and for example, but that's not really the point of this. This is Transfer Weekly. But it's good to see that he's got high hopes. They're looking to improve. They're not looking to stagnate and stay still because we know what happens in this Premier League. If you stay still, you're going to get relegated. But it's good to see that Parish wants to go up, wants to keep pushing and improving the team, and yeah, we'll see what happens. Also, Vieira has his own quote, which is much shorter, which makes me very, very happy. He says, "We need more players to challenge the players that we already have. We may need to take some players out of their comfort zone." So this is sort of reiterating what Parish has said, but he's saying it in a slightly different way. He's saying that maybe some of the players that we already have, they need more competition. I don't want to say it again, but I feel like I don't think he's singling out Mitchell, but I think that might be an example that I'm going to use. So Mitchell doesn't have any competition, so you might want to get some people in there to take Mitchell out of his comfort zone to maybe push him a bit harder so he actually fights for his team spot right now. Smart business, because competition only breeds better players, and better players is what Crystal Palace needs right now to have a good push, good end to the season. Because I tell you what, there's January, February time in the season right now. We've got very, very tough games coming up, and we're going to need to suck up all the pressure, do as well as we can, and hopefully have a very good end to the season. Also, it's nice to see that they want improvements, same as what Paris said. More improvements to the team, the better the team's going to get. As Vieira said, new signings, better players will take us to a whole new level, and I really hope we can do that. So with me talking about left back, right back and DM, those are the 3 positions that I'm going to talk to you about with players that we're linked with. And one player that I really want us to be linked with, but we're not right now. Not officially, not like a good link. I've seen a really dodgy link about that one player, but I'll get to him later. I'll leave him for last. However, the first one, left back, Jan Bernat.
Juan,
The 29-year-old Spanish left back who currently plays for PSG and is currently very out of favour at PSG because PSG just bought a new player for 60 million, Nuno Mendes, and he has just set that team alight completely. Jan Bernat, eye test, very good player, very attacking though. I mostly see him doing attacking stuff when watching games of his, watching highlights of his. But his defensive acumens are very good, but it's probably because he plays for PSG. His stats are probably not as high because he does play for PSG, who dominate the league most years. And they probably don't do as much defending as other teams would be because they dominate the ball. They've got brilliant goal scorers and they've got sensational talent in midfield, like players with Verratti and there's just too many players. But I think he'll be a very good addition to our squad. I think he's first team quality. He's 29 years old. He's got lots of experience. He's got Champions League experience. And with a left back with that kind of attacking output, he could teach Mitchell a hell of a lot. Because I think that's sort of an area Mitchell really struggles with. Bernat is very dependable. The PSG fans seem to really like him. And you know what? I really wouldn't mind it. Obviously, we'd love to see our homegrown talent thrive, but I think it's a sort of harsh competition that he needs to get even better because, unfortunately, I think the worst thing that could have ever happened to Mitchell was probably getting the England call-up. I don't think he's been the same since then. Some stats which show he's out of favour is that he's only had 7 starts this season, 1 goal, 1 yellow card, 3 clean sheets, 1.2 tackles per game, and 0.7 clearances per game. As I said, it's a bit doubtful if he's not doing that much defensive output for PSG. It's understandable because of the team he's playing for. But unfortunately, we really need someone that can defend because we are Crystal Palace. We will not hold the ball forever. And we need someone with that grunt in there. But there's no reason why, if he actually has to do the job, he can't do it. Because he must have been able to do the defensive work before he got bought by PSG. So I'd like to see it happen. I think definitely a good loan deal till the end of the season would do it, and then we can buy a proper nice younger left back in the summer window where we could do some more major changes. But very exciting. I'd love to see Jan Bernat come to Crystal Palace on loan till the end of the season. On to the right back now. Cody Drama. Drama? I don't know. It's your boy, Eagle-Eyed Football JC. Don't know how to pronounce no names. He is a very dynamic right back with the ability to bomb forwards with pace, charisma, and he has got an eye for a pass. He's also got very good defensive abilities for someone that is so young. He had a really great loan at Cardiff last year. Really made a name for himself in the Championship, which has got the likes of Crystal Palace, Bournemouth, Leeds, who already have him, to think about what they want to do, because very exciting talent has got people calling and wanting his services. I think for someone that is, 21? Yes, the 21-year-old is looking very good. He reminds me a lot of Nathan Ferguson when he was at West Brom. Very good attacking, very versatile, how he can play left back and right back, because that's sort of something that Vieira really likes. He likes players which have a very versatile and can do many different roles. And, oh man, I'd love this to happen. I think the only unfortunate thing for Cody right now is that I don't think he's going to get into this Leeds team because he's got Luke Ayling and Christensen, who they've just bought off Nice, I believe, for quite a good chunk of money. I think Junior Firmpong plays right back as well, and we all know how that went. But I think right now, for him at Leeds, is a very tough situation to be because that's probably one of the only positions that they've got a very good bundle of talent there. And for him to push on in his career, he really needs a move. I think from the stats that I'm about to read to you here, I think he's probably done what he needs to do in the Championship. He's had a whole year of men's football, very successful in his youth career as well. I think he started off at Fulham and then went to Leeds and then just sort of shot up through there. But I think he's very exciting talent. He's going to be very expensive because he is English. I think that this will have to be done. If you can get him for maybe less than £4 million, I know £4 million is a very cheap amount of money for a young, bright-looking player, but we have to remember he's only had one good season, so you can't really pay too much money. But listen to this. He's only had one appearance this season so far for Leeds. That just shows how out of favour / who he's got in front of him. Very tough crowd to get in front of. With him only having one appearance, no regular game time, he needs a move away. However, when he had regular game time, 22 starts, 3 assists, 4 big chances with 80% pass completion in his own half and only 69% of passing accuracy throughout the game in the opposition half. I know this doesn't seem like a very high amount, but he's making very risky passes. I think risky is probably a harsh word. Very optimistic passes. He's trying to put balls into an area where the strikers can score goals, put the ball in front of the wingers so they can run onto it, and even sometimes coming inside and trying to put the striker in, maybe put the 10 in. Very versatile player. Can go down the outside with pace, can go on the inside. Very good with both feet, as you have to be if you can play left back and right back. With 6 clean sheets, 1 interception per game, 3.8 tackles made per game. That is an incredible stat. 3.8 tackles. He would fit in like a dream in Palace's team, as well as going forward, as he's completed 1.1 successful dribbles per 90. If we can get him for the right price, we have to do it. I think it's one of them things where, I know Paris said more loans than buys, but I think this one has to be a buy because we will not be able to loan him. Because if we loan him and he goes back to Leeds and he has a brilliant end to the season, we're never seeing him again. But that's just the harsh reality of football, innit? Finally, the player that I would love us to even look at, I would love us to sign, but I think he'd be a bit too expensive in January. Amadou Haidara would be the perfect addition to this Crystal Palace team. He has everything we need in that extra defensive midfielder spot. He has dribbling ability, he has defensive ability, he has passing ability. Most important of all, he is also from Mali. You know who else is from Mali? Check Doucouré. Having a double pivot of Mali midfielders, of Doucouré and Haidara, it just sounds incredible to me. I would be so excited to see it happen, to see what they'll be able to do, because even on international duty, those guys will still be playing together, will still be playing in the midfield together, and the chemistry will be there already when he comes in. They'll keep working on it when they're off on international duty, so they will never feel that ring rust when playing with each other. It's going to be incredible. I would just imagine it now. A double pivot of Haidara and Doucouré, and then letting Eze do what he needs to do in the 10. And with this formation, I really hope Vieira keeps. Eze will be able to press, be much more dynamic, and not have to rely on those defensive work, because Haidara and Doucouré will carry on with that without him having to, I wouldn't say take responsibility for it, but have to do a lot less defending. He'll be able to drive at players, be able to link up play, be able to work with Elise and Zaha and Edouard and Ayew. We'll be able to push us forward more, and our main problem right now is scoring goals. If you let Eze free, mate, we'll score loads more goals. It's going to be incredible to watch. Also, another little fun fact, currently plays for RB Leipzig, has the number 8 shirt. You know what number currently isn't taken at Crystal Palace? The number 8 shirt. So far, Haidara, it could happen because he's a little bit out of favour so far this season, with only 4 starts and 13 total appearances so far this season, with 1 goal and 1 assist. However, last season, 3 goals, 1 assist. Remember, he is a defensive midfielder with 84% pass completion rate in all areas of the field. 1.5 tackles per 90, 0.8 interceptions per 90. And by the way, Leipzig press, they're not really doing interceptions, more man-on-man tackling, so that's why that stat is so much higher. And the eye test, he looks class. He is very versatile as well. Can play DM, which is his most suitable role, the most comfortable role in the 6, but he can also play the 8 and the 10 position. So if we have any issues, he can fill in those positions, and that is another attribute in a player that Vieira loves to see. The short range and the long range passing is there, the composure is there. He's very good at dribbling as well, actually. Stature, very big, looks very strong, and he does like to use the physical part of his game to his advantage, and that is perfect for the Premier League. For him to sit next to Decore, he's gonna be expensive. He's gonna be about 15 to 20 million pounds, and by the sounds of what the board is saying, we don't have the money. Flat out, we do not have the money. But loan to buy. If we can loan to buy Haidara for 20 million pounds in the summer, we have to do it. He will change Crystal Palace completely. Having that midfield and then letting the front three go free, and then having 2 proper fullbacks and having a little bit more cover in the defense. I don't know. You tell me what that team can do. Put it in the comments below. But it's just making me feel really, really excited and really happy just imagining what that would do to our team right now. But let's move on. And yes, guys, that's it for Transfer Weekly episode 1 in the January transfer window of 2023. I'm really excited to get this back going again. Sorry, I am unwell still, so it's really hard to record this. I keep losing my breath. But we've got to move on. We've got to get the transfer news out to you guys because you guys need it. Remember, as always, put who you want me to cover in the comments down below. Like, share, and subscribe. And yes, guys, this is Eagle Eye Football. This is JC. See you on Friday. Peace out. Eagles.